Oh, welcome back to Mackenzie Woodworking. So we have a bit of a fun project today. We're cutting out Easter bunnies for the season. Here we are. We've got them laid out. If you notice, we have two patterns there. So we have a larger opening for the Kinder Surprise egg and a smaller one for the plastic eggs that come apart if you want to put in your own candies or whatever. But here's our patterns. Here's some that have been painted up and done, and there's one there with the Kinder egg. And here we are drawing them out. So our wood pieces are 1 inch thick and 5 by 5. That's our block size. And I was just showing there, I blunt the end of my pencil so you have a darker color to follow along. There they are after they've been cut out. I use a combination of bandsaw and a scroll saw. The bandsaw takes out the bigger portion, and the scroll saw I use for the inside, for the radius on the circle. And here I am just softening up the edges and taking off the bandsaw marks. And I use the cut-saw sanding tools, shaping tools. They work really good. I've had good success with them. And I have a air die grinder there that I use, and I use the fine bit, and any areas where I use the bandsaw blades, I'll go over with it. It just makes for sanding easier. What it does, it leaves a nice fine line, and then for any other shaping, like I'll shape the top of the ear there, I'll bring it over nice and smooth. I do all my radiuses with this tool as well. And just so I'll follow all the way along. And I find that the cone one is a very handy one. I use it for a lot of different applications. Cone in the end, you can get into sharp corners and stuff. And on the back side, what I do is I make a hollow, and I just get in there and make a bit of a hollow, and that's so that the egg can set into it. It'll just settle in. And then what I do is I'll take the eggs and then size them all. You see I'm just making a bit of a hollow in there. These cone head tools really work good. Now I'll just take a knife, and I'll just put in some detail around the nose and the bottom of the chin. These are whittling knives or small carving knives. I'm just giving it a sizing here. Before we go to final sanding, I like to I'll size every bunny with the egg that's going to go into it. Like I was saying earlier, you'll notice that I do two different kind. The Kinder egg is a little bit larger, so I'll do a set that'll accompany the Kinder eggs, and then the smaller set which will accompany the plastic eggs. I haven't found an egg the same size as the Kinder egg, and I don't think Kinder is going to bring out different sizes of eggs. So I'm just continuing along and going to airs the edge here. Just makes, and then I'll go to hand sanding. And then I just go all over these with 120 on all the edges and everything, and just hand sand them. I'm just airsing all the edges again. I'll just follow all the way along with this. And then any areas where I've cut with the bandsaw, like on the back there, I'll just go over top of it again with the Bandsaw die grinder. It just makes for easier for sanding. What it does is it leaves really fine lines, and they sand off quite nicely and easy after you run over the top of them with this tool. So I'll just continue along here and sand. I'll let you watch it, and if you're interested in seeing how it's done, but it's I find that this is easier to just run an Eris with the tool than it is setting up the router and following it around. When I first started these, I used a router table, and I found that it's more of a handmade look if you just Eris it by hand and sand it. So we're over to the painting table now. Once I've sanded those all up, and like I said, I've taken them to 120. They don't have to be too awful smooth. And we're just using hobby paints here, the ones you get in a jar at the places that sell hobbies supplies, or you can get them online, I guess. My wife picked them up somewhere, and she picked out the Easter color, so I guess this is the Easter colors, and I'll just paint them all up. I give them all 2 coats, so I'll give 1 coat, push them all, and then I'll go over again. And these dry within 10 or 15 minutes, so you can put another coat on them. And they're latex paint, so they're relatively safe. I'll be able to get 2 coats on these about 15 minutes apart. They dry relatively quick. They're water-based latex paints. So. And before I do them, I found that I use a sanding sealer, and the wood that I'm using is a cypress. It's important that you use a strong, clear wood with no knots in it, and a tight grain. And in the area I live, cypress is quite common, so we're able to get it, and I use it for various products. It's good and strong, and it won't break. I've never had any of these break off. Like I said, I go the vertical grain from the bottom of the feet to the top, so the grain's going vertically up to the ears, and they're quite solid. They've been dropped and used and given them to kids, and they work really good. And if you are, I'm not sure how pine would work on this, but it probably would. Like I said, I've noticed painting them that it's important that you give them a coat of sanding sealer. That'll just seal everything, especially if you're adding different colors to them and stuff. It just keeps it a nice vibrant color. I did try a few without sanding sealer, and I wasn't able to get this good vibrant color in them. And if you notice how they stand out really good. And I don't give them a top coat either. I like the flat colors. They remind me of Jordan almonds this time of year. I'll just let you watch along as I paint them. I find this enjoyable. I'll do this in the evening and put on some music and go into our den. I have a table set up for crafts. And this time of the year, the weather is sometimes miserable outside, so it's a good pastime. And these are really popular in woodworking shows. I just can't make enough of them. also custom mix my paints. What I've noticed too is I'll start with the white base and then add color to it. We've had a hard time finding the exact pastel colors that we're looking for, so I start with white and I add color to it, and it was easier than adding white to color. And that'll give you your pastel colors that you're looking for. There's a bunch already done up now, and we're just waiting for them to dry, and then I'll add the tail to them. What I use is a hot melt glue gun. I just take a tail and put a little bit of, there's a glue gun, I just put a little bit of glue on it, hot melt glue, and tag it on. And we'll just go in the end. There's a little dab, and it just sticks on. What's nice about this is it sticks on right away. Here's the egg, and you can see how it sits down in the pocket and it doesn't fall out. And I'll just put another dab of glue and stick that on. And I've tried different types of glues, but the hot melt works good. So you can see I just mix up the colors and patterns, and there's no real pattern to go with. All different colors. I do with this size of pattern, the tails that we order, they're 1/2 inch, so they're, and I believe we get a variety pack too, but the 1/2 inch tails there will work the best. You can try different colors. I've tried bigger ones and smaller ones. I just have small ones that we put on the nose, but we kind of like just the wood pattern. So you can play around with this pattern and do whatever. Looks good. And there we go. Well, thanks a lot for watching this video. I hope you build some of these for your family and friends. Here they are all together, and we've got the tails on, and shows you a variety of different colors and patterns again. Here's my favorite one, the blue, and with a kinder egg in it. And here's a new one to the bunch. The farm animals were complaining. Thanks again for watching. Please subscribe and share.